Hey you guys, Fabio, I'm coming back with another video here. Real quick off the top, I opened it up on my last video that I did. 2 spots, giving it to you guys for the entire year. This is just like my little gift to you for $800 for the entire year of the lead gen and the coaching program. So you can't beat that. Typically, what I would charge for that is anywhere between $2,000 and $2,500 for that. Excuse me, guys. So yeah, so just I want to get that off the top. So if you're interested, just email me, sign me up at hollywoodjanitorialserve@gmail.com. Hollywood Janitorial Serve. Serve is SERV. It will be in the description box below, so you can go ahead and email me. Just put "sign me up" in the subject line, and we'll go ahead and get you set up or answer any questions that you have about the lead gen coaching program. Okay, it's a 12-month program. Now, getting right into the video. Okay, guys, so I often get asked, people ask me all the time, Fabio, what should I do? Should I do a net 30? Should I do a net 15? How should I set my business up? You know, what I want to tell people, and this is going to be, I'm going to talk about a combination of different things on this video, is I get, not a gazillion, I'll be exaggerating, but I get a lot of emails with people. They say, well, Fabio, I don't know where to start. I don't have anybody that believe in me. I just don't know what I don't know. And the best answer that I can give you guys is to just get out there and get started. I want to kind of get this off the top too. I want to let you know that if you have a dream or you have goals or aspirations, do whatever business, specifically for this video, the commercial cleaning business, residential cleaning business, the only way that you can absolutely excel in this business if you just do something. I don't care what YouTuber you watch, you can ask every YouTuber the same question, and I'm pretty sure to say that they're probably going to give you a similar answer. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about if you ask them, well, how did you get so successful? How did you get your business started? Yeah, their wave is different, right? The way they went about it is different. I always tell people there's no right or wrong way to run this business. But the common denominator with every single YouTuber that you ask or anybody that's in business that you ask is they just got started, right? They didn't have all of the answers. They didn't know what they didn't know, but they just got started and they learned along the way. Now, some of them weren't as I can't remember what the word is that I'm looking for, but they didn't have the advantage that you guys have, right? In watching me here explain this stuff to you, because there was no Fabio Hart available for Fabio Hart when I first got started. So it was nobody that could show, and I'm talking about when I first got started. I got mentors now and different people now, but when I first got started, it was nobody available for me. If you go watch some of my older videos, you know, where I'm walking, I got the backpack on and I'm walking and I'm telling you guys that's my journey. That's around the beginning time where I started, where I was going door to door and I was doing videos more consistently. That's around the time where I was just trying to figure it out. I was reading, I was watching YouTube videos, I was doing some of everything, but I got started, right? I got started and I was able to build my business from the ground up. From the ground up. You're not going to be able to build anything from the ground up if you don't get started. So I'm going to kind of just get that out there. Now, let's hop right on this net 15, net 30. People don't know how they should set it up. Listen, there's no right or wrong way to do that either. If you want to net 15 some accounts, you can net 15 some accounts. Net 30, net 30. Or if you want to do a deposit, I'm sure I did a video about this many times ago, but it's, you know, I'm starting to get access a lot. You can set this up how you want to set this up. Okay, now I will tell you most businesses net 30 because it's the way they pay all of their bills, on a net 30. Okay, but if you want to try it a different way, you can take some on the front end and some on the back end. You can take it all up front, right? You can take it all on the back end, right? So it depends on you. It depends on you how you want to structure your business. Now, if you say, well, Fabio, from your personal experience, how would you do it? I would suggest that you mix it up. Okay, that way you have revenue coming in all month around, right? So if you don't have to always wait for that net 30, you could get some, you know, on a 7-day, on a weekly, right? If you're doing maybe some residential, you can get some bi-weekly. If you're doing some commercial where they just pay you bi-weekly. split the payments up. You can get some at the top of the month and at the end of the month. It just depends on you how you want to set it up, but it's entirely up to you guys, okay? Now, for the specialty services, and I want to kind of get this out. If you're doing window clean, power washing, lawn and care service, any specialty service outside of your general service, outside of the general service that you're providing, what I would probably suggest is that you don't net 30 that. So in other words, you don't go and cut the grass, or you don't go and do the windows and then say, okay, I'm gonna bill you 30 days out. You want to get that specialty service money right after you finish that job, I would suggest, okay? So if you're doing a carpet cleaning job, okay, this is a specialty service. This isn't a service that, unless you're doing carpet cleaning as your main business, this is a specialty service. This is an add-on service that you're providing in conjunction with what you're currently doing, whether it's residential or commercial, right? So let's say you got a commercial building, you're just doing your general cleaning, you offer them an incredible offer, right, to do the carpet cleaning job or a window cleaning job, and then boom, you do the window cleaning job. Okay, so Fabio, when should I invoice them? Right away. So as soon as you're done with the job, you go ahead and invoice them, and then the payment has become due immediately, right? So it become due, I mean, you can give them 24 hours, right? So you can say it's due the next day. Okay, so if today is the, what's today, 21st, 22nd, I don't remember. But let's, today the 21st, okay? So you get, you do it today, and then you expect to pick up the payment tomorrow, right? Or you can give them to the 23rd, right? A two-day leeway, you know, kind of get the payment over to you. Okay, now speaking of payments, and this is the way that I decided to go. A lot of people are sleeping on this and they still picking up checks. If you ask the client for a credit card that you can keep on file, right? Or a check card, business card, be it personal or business, okay? A lot of times people say, well, Fabio, they say they don't have a business credit card, or they don't have a business, you know, check card, or whatever the case. You know, they tell them a lot of different things. Then you can use a personal card, right? It don't matter what account it come out of, you just need to be paid what you need to be paid, right? Now, how they tally the numbers and how they keep their records and whatever is up to them, but you're gonna keep your records the same, right? So how they pay you really doesn't matter, but I would say we probably about a, well, not majority, but we're probably about a 75-25 split, where 25 still sending checks, 25 we just automatically charge the card on a monthly basis. That's a nice position to be in, okay? And even bigger companies that do that, right? So Fabio, what are you saying? I'm talking about the industrial companies that I like to get, the bigger contracts that you guys hear me talk about. They will give you a card that you can have on file, and then you automatically charge this. You just have to inquire about it, right? You let them know, hey, generally this is how we do it. If they say, no, we don't do it that way, we net 30 all of our accounts and we do it via check, then, you know, you just kind of go with that, right? Because that's, they don't want to give you the card. Or they might start off and say, well, you know what, Shannon, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the checks. You know, when they start off with the checks, and then it might become convenient for them later down the line. Once they trust you, they've been around you, you clean the building enough to know, right? So now that they feel comfortable with you, they'll give you a check card, right? Or they give you a debit card or credit card, right? So I like to use these methods of payments first before any other method of payment, because I can just automatically. So once and you still invoice them the same way, right? So don't think you just take the money, you don't invoice. Yes, you still invoice them, and then a day later or whenever it's due. So let's say you invoice them, let's say on a 30-day calendar month, right? It's 30 days in whatever the month is. You're going to go ahead, you're going to invoice them. I generally invoice 2 to 3 days before the payment is due, okay? So if we do on the first, I'll invoice maybe like on the 29th, you know, or the 28th. Well, if the 29th, if it's 31 days in a month, and probably the 28th if it's just a 30-day calendar month, right? So, and some people will say, well, Fabio, I disagree. I do mine at, you know, the week of. I don't do that because they have a lot of other invoices coming in, and it's already kind of known with a lot of these companies that security companies. So if you have a security business and janitorial business are like the bottom of totem pole in terms of getting paid. They usually kind of be the ones that get paid late. Okay, if you send that payment a week ahead, guys, a lot of times what happens is they forget to send it out. It's not that they don't want to pay you or they don't have the means to pay you, they can't pay you. It's just they have a lot of different other things. They're busy. It's not automated. It would be automated if you were able to get the credit card, right? Because the minute you send the invoice, you already know 2 days later you're going to go ahead and just charge them for that, whatever that fee is that you charge. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and automatically charge them that. Okay, so that's why I say don't do it like a week or 2 weeks ahead. Yeah, you can do it, but it's a bit earlier. I'll give you an example. T-Mobile, I have T-Mobile, right? Sometimes T-Mobile would do it 2 weeks. Well, they would say, hey, bill is becoming due, right? And then a week ahead before the bill is due, which my bill is due on the same month, on the same day every single month, right? But a week before my bill is due, they'll send me that text message. I think it'll be better if they do it maybe 3 days before, right? Because that whole week I got so much going on. I will be the first to tell you, now I never get shut off, but I'll be the first to tell you that I pay T-Mobile every single month late. Like I'm never on time. If you was to ask them, hey, is Fabio Hart always on time on his T? Now, because I got so many other bills now, I know like your car note and different things like this, you know to get that stuff on. But T-Mobile, why? It's not that I don't value T-Mobile. Yes, I like to be connected to the world. I like to be able to talk and stream and do all of these things. But that bill is kind of on the on a low totem pole, if you guys get where I'm coming from. So if you guys have T-Mobile or Sprint or Verizon, AT&T, whatever you have, you can probably identify, okay, I see where he's saying. But see, if T-Mobile was to do it 3 days before, and it kind of, I'll remember like, okay, yeah, I got to pay my T-Mobile. But when they do it a week prior or a week before, it's like, okay, you know, I got the text, okay, I'll pay it when it's due, right? But then it becomes due and I don't pay it. So I'm late every single month. Now I do realize, and I guess I built this relationship with T-Mobile where I'm late every single month. They just don't turn me off. I guess they assume he's going to pay because I have a history of being late. But I know how far I can go, you know, being late without getting, you know, shut off. So I never, ever been shut off, ever, since being with T-Mobile, ever. 10 years with T-Mobile, never, not one time being shut off, ever. So that's a good thing. But I'm consistently late every single month, okay? So again, guys, you don't want to be like, you don't want to be on the receiving end. You don't want to be how I am to T-Mobile, right? If you're T-Mobile, you want to get paid when you're supposed to get paid. So that's why I tell you guys to try to do it a few days or so before it becomes due. No matter when they're supposed to pay it out. So if you're on a net 15, a couple of days before the 15th day, okay? If you're on, if you're on a net 15 and you're doing it bi-weekly, so a few days before that, right? Send them the invoice, and then invoice them again a few days before the 30th, right? Because you're doing it bi-weekly, okay? Now, if you're doing a 7-day thing, right? Let's say you got some commercial accounts, which I do. Some residential, which I do, and it's a weekly thing. Then we send it out every Thursday. They pay Friday, okay? So, but like I said, we pull off a lot of our accounts come off of the personal card or the business card, depending on what type of customer it is. If it's residential, a lot of times we got it on file. Everything is computer put together, right? It's software put together. Then the system, so we already know, boom, it's supposed to come out on this day. Okay, it's supposed to come out on that day. So again, guys, this is part of building your systems. This is not an overnight process. So I'm not expecting you guys to get this on the first go round, but I'm just kind of giving you intricate details on how I set it up to make it easier for me, right? Just like, let's go back to T-Mobile, right? Or go to whatever. A lot of these companies, they offer you, hey, we give you a discount if you do auto pay. Auto pay is just where you give them your card and they automatically take it off every single month, right? T-Mobile do it. I'm sure Verizon do it. I'm sure all of these companies, your auto insurance carrier, your auto loan, right? Right. So if you give them a card or attach, your bank account information to it, where they can automatically debit it out, for them, they feel more comfortable that they're going to get paid. They don't have any worries. So yeah, they might still email you your bill, right? So T-Mobile, Verizon, AT, or whoever, right? Email you, or they send you the link text to your phone, or however they do it, right? So they still send the bill out, which means they invoicing you. So they still invoice you for the payment, but then when the payment becomes due, they take it out on that day. The day that it becomes due, they attempt to charge. Hopefully the money is there for them to take out, but they at least attempt to charge it on the day that it becomes due. And a lot of businesses like that. So again, guys, look into that. That's why I tell you, you want to be able to accept all type of payments. Okay, you don't want to shut off anything. I got some people that say, hey, let's do Cash App. They want to Cash App it. Well, I can kind of keep a record on Cash App. With Cash App, you got a personal and you got a business Cash App. So however you want to set it up, credit card, or debit card, or PayPal, or right. So you want to be able to accept all method of payments. Try not to do the cash because you can't, it's really no paper trail behind that. I had some clients in the early on stages say, hey, can I just give you the $500 a month in cash, right? So early on, I was a little kind of hard up. I wanted to get the contract or whatever, so I accepted it. But I didn't really feel like official when they gave me the cash, right? So after so long of doing it, I say, okay, look, we got to start doing this in check, or with a check card or a credit card or something like that. So eventually things changed, but I don't do no cash transactions now. They already know not to pay that way anyway. So they don't even attempt to ask, hey, can I pay you cash, right? So again, guys, make sure, like I said, I know I gave you an earful, this evening, but make sure you try to get your clients on auto pay. That way you don't have to deal with late payments. Okay, hopefully the funds is there. Now, this video probably going to be long because I want to tell you what to do in the event that you go ahead and you charge the card and the money isn't there. Pick up the phone and give them a call. Okay, pick up the phone and give them a call. What I used to do when the money wasn't there when we charge them, we used to send out a letter, but then they ignore the letter, act like they never received the letter, that type of deal. Or we send out an email. I would suggest that you let them know, but it's just your approach. You got to have an approach when you call them. So we might say something along the lines like, hi Mrs. Smith, I'm Fabio with Hollywood Janitorial Service. We noticed that we invoiced you for the payment. We attempted to charge your card, and we got a rejection, so the funds wasn't available for us to take at that time. Is there another card that you would like to use? Okay, or when would these funds become available on this card where we could take that? Okay, now on every invoice, and this is a staple with me, every invoice, we let them know the policy and the procedures of them being late. Okay, it's due on the 1st, it's late on the 5th with me. So I would suggest, whether you starting up your business, or whether you're in the middle, you've been doing it for a while, or whether you consider yourself an expert, I would suggest on every invoice you let them know the ramifications if they pay late past whatever that date is. So they're due on the 1st with me, they're late on the 5th. Okay, after the 5th, it's when we hit them with the late fees, and they have to pay the late fees. We will pause service if they don't pay the late fees. Okay, so some people might call it being petty, but you have to show your customer that you mean business, and this is the way that you do it. Because if you don't collect the late fee, they will continue to play with the money along down the line, because they know there's no ramifications for their actions. They know there's nothing that's going to happen, right? Yeah, you're going to say we need to collect the fees, but at the end of the day, they're going to feel like, well, they want our business anyway, so hey, we're going to pay you what we're going to pay you. You're going to deal with it. It's not the way it's signed. That's not the way it goes. Okay, it's not the way it goes. When you go and sign up for a loan or sign up for whatever, you agree to those terms and those procedures, those policy and procedures, those terms, those conditions. You agree to that. So when you do something different than what you agreed to, and then they play you how they play you, you can't get mad to them because you've already signed off on a dotted line. You've already dated that you was gonna adhere to the policy and procedures, or you agreed to the terms and conditions, right? So again, guys, this is all business. This is stuff that you have to think about. It's paramount that you think about this stuff, but have a plan in place when it comes to your clients being late. You will have some clients being late. I'm here to tell you that. You will have some clients paying late. I don't care if you're in a franchise. I don't care if you're independent. I don't care how big you think your business is. I don't care if you're $1 million business or you just $25,000 a year business. I don't give a shit. You're gonna have people that pay you late, okay? But again, you have to have some policies in place for when they pay you late, okay? And you have to stick to that. If you roll over on that and you let them get away with it, they'll continue to pay you late because they know there's nothing gonna happen behind being late, okay? So again, like I say, I would suggest when you send out the invoice, at the bottom of the invoice or somewhere on the invoice, you have a little reminder note, okay, of what would happen if they're late, okay? This is due on the 1st. It's late after the 5th, so you're giving them a few days extra. You really want it on the 1st, but you're giving them a few days extra up to the 5th to get the payment in. After the 5th, it becomes late, okay? So if you have a $50, $60, $70, $100, whatever your fee is, that's entirely up to you, okay? Whatever you want to charge, that's entirely up to you, okay? But stick to it. If you got a $100 fee and that's what they have to pay for being late, that's what they have to pay for being late. You must pause the service. If you keep going on and then they pay you on time next month, you're already $100 in the rear. Or what you could do is you can attach that $100 to the next billing, so you can roll it over. If they don't pay it at that point, and let's say they just pay you what they typically are supposed to pay you, and they don't pay that late fee, then I will pause service. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Me, I want to collect it right away, okay? Because you was already late, especially if they have a habit of that. Now, if they don't have a habit, you can give them a courtesy call or just a reminder. You can highlight, hey, I know sometimes, we all get busy, you're late, but just as a reminder, typically we have that late fee, so we want to kind of stay away from that late fee. Let's just make sure we kind of get the payment in on time, okay? This is how you have to deal with them. And they'll respect it. They'll understand, because a lot of them are in service businesses, right? Or they sell a product or they sell a service or whatever the case is. And they invoice all the time. They don't get paid on time all the time. I don't care if it's a chiropractor, a dentist, professional. I don't care if it's a lawyer. A lot of times they don't get paid on time, right? So they have to send out letters and emails, and they have to make phone calls, right, to try to collect payment. So we all go through that. So again, guys, sorry for the length of this video. I know it's kind of lengthy here, but I wanted to get it out. So when it comes down to the net 15 or the net 30, it's entirely up to you guys what you want to do. You can pick and choose, let them know. I would suggest probably for your bigger accounts to make them a net 30, because that's how they typically pay anyway. For your more smaller accounts, they'll probably be more or less willing to do a bi-weekly thing. For your weekly residential cleanings, you can get paid after each clean, or you can, depending on how many days during the week you're doing it, you can say, hey, the bill is due on Friday, right? So you just invoice them on Thursday for all of the work that you've done within that week, okay? You don't want to let it roll over to the next week, okay? Especially for residential, okay? Because a lot of them, they won't have the money, or they'll pay you for 1 week and won't pay you for the next week, or they'll pay you for 2 days when they're really supposed to pay you for 3 days, and then they say, well, I'll pay you next week, and then they totally forget that they said that, and they say, no, I got paid you, I know I paid you, right? So we don't want to go through all of this. Either get paid immediately after you do the service, and if you're doing it like, multiple days within the same week, then you can make it due Friday, right? Or make it due that Monday. If, let's say, you got a clean Friday, you say, well, I clean the residential thing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, you can make it due Monday, or you can still clean it Friday, but everything is due Friday that day, right? So it's entirely up to you. It's your business. If you want to talk more about that, guys, again, like I said, with the coaching, You can learn this and much, much more. The lead generation program, 6 months, coaching 12 months, the best value coaching program on YouTube right now. I'm getting real results. I'll introduce you guys into other students of mine where you can actually talk to them. We do a Zoom call, usually kind of like once a month, right? If we can. Some months we don't get it in, but you will be able to meet some of the other students in my coaching program, and you guys can kind of bounce that information off of each other. Okay, so it's $800 if you want it. I'm only opening up 2 positions for that, or 2 spots for that. Make sure you're the one that get that spot. Okay, $800 out the door for the entire year. Go ahead, email me, sign me up at hollywoodjanitorialserve@gmail.com. I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. You guys be safe.